Good morning, everyone. I see New Jersey is in the house. My name is Terry O'Neill. I'm the president of the National Organization for Women. And I am beyond thrilled to welcome you to the 2014 Annual NOW Conference, Faces of Feminism, Strength in Diversity. At this time, I'm going to ask my vice presidents, Bonnie Grabenhofer, Action Vice President, Chitra Punjabi, Membership Vice President, to join me on the stage. Bonnie and Chitra have been working very hard on organizing this conference, especially Chitra. Bonnie has been doing an enormous amount of work for the PAC activities we're going to have at this conference. Chitra is doing everything, so any questions, go to them. I know. Now I'm going to have a target on my back. Now, I also would like to welcome our elected officials, local elected officials, to come to the stage. Geraldine Salazar. And Georgine Lewis. Now, I'm going to give more or less official introduction for both Geraldine and Georgine, but first I just want to make one comment. This conference is dedicated to the importance of expanding the women's movement to include all women. We know that we will never end sexism until we end racism and homophobia. And this conference is our opportunity to link arms in these very dangerous times, to rededicate ourselves to saying all women in all communities, in the specific ways that they experience discrimination, we stand by each other, we will lift each other up. And let me say, I understand that there are some people with some ugly photographs outside this hotel. And I'm going to tell you something. Frankly, I think that protesting the National Organization for Women is exactly who they should be protesting. Protesting me. I'm the president of NOW. I deliberately chose to put myself into a national conversation about women's rights, about women's absolute right to have access to abortion care and birth control. So fellas, y'all should be coming after me, not after women who are trying to seek health care. We were shocked and appalled by the United States Supreme Court's decision in the buffer zone case. Shame on them, and we will not back down. We are going to double down on our efforts to protect every abortion clinic, to make sure that every woman has access to the abortion care she needs. Okay, I'll stop now. I am so thrilled that Geraldine Salazar and Georgine Lewis are here to welcome us. I know time is short, so I just want to very briefly introduce you. Georgine has lived and worked in New Mexico since 1974. In her teen years, she was an activist and thus ignited, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, I hate to do this. Geraldine, I'm sorry. Oh, God, yes. Geraldine Salazar, who, by the way, is a former member of the National NOW Board and a dear friend of mine. We served on the board together. One of the biggest impacts that Geraldine had is through her work with the Santa Fe Rape Crisis Center, where she was the outreach coordinator. She recruited, trained, and supervised volunteers for their 24-hour crisis hotline. She coordinated the annual Take Back the Night rally and march. Geraldine serves right now as Santa Fe's county clerk, and her office has been very busy issuing same-gender marriage licenses. In conformity with the 2013 decision of the New Mexico Supreme Court. Geraldine, please welcome and say a few words.
Well, this is pretty exciting for me to welcome my now sisters from across the United States. Good morning now, members and supporters. Welcome to the great state of New Mexico and NOW's National Conference. In 1972, the Equal Rights Amendment passed both houses of the U.S. Congress and went to state legislatures for ratification. ERA was amended to New Mexico State Constitution on November 7, 1972, becoming effective July 1, 1973. New Mexico's Constitution states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied equal protection of the laws. Equality of rights under law shall not be denied on account of the sex of any person. 40 years later, the New Mexico Supreme Court ruled in favor of marriage equality because of the ERA amendment in New Mexico's Constitution. We are excited to have you in New Mexico and announce that on December 19, 2013, the New Mexico Supreme Court held that the state of New Mexico is constitutionally required to allow same-gender couples to marry and must extend to them the rights, protections, and responsibilities that derive from civil marriage under New Mexico law. With this ruling, New Mexico became the 17th state to legalize same-gender marriage. I bring this up today because I believe we need to revisit our efforts and strategize to pass ERA in all states that do not include ERA in their state constitutions. And at the federal level to guarantee equal rights for women and marriage equality for all same-gender couples in the United States. Roe versus Wade was decided on January 22, 1973, with a 7-2 majority vote for the U.S. Supreme Court deeming abortion a fundamental right under the United States Constitution. A woman's right to choose is a very personal and private matter. It is a woman's fundamental right to exercise her own conscience and decide what is best for her body and mind. Roe versus Wade is the law of the land in all states, and yet it is attacked every day. We must be watchful that a woman's right to choose is never taken away. We must actively work to pass equal rights amendments to the United States Constitution to further guarantee women's rights in every state of the Union. This conference is a great opportunity to discuss the critical issues affecting women and to outline the future of women's rights. Gather, network, discuss, and learn what the next steps are to further equal rights for all women. Enjoy the conference and your stay in New Mexico. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Geraldine. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Georgine Lewis, who is a representative in the New Mexico State Legislature. She has served as vice chair of the House Judiciary Committee. She's a participant in the Business and Industry Committee, and she is the House parliamentarian. She was first elected to the chamber in 2012 and represents the 26th district in New Mexico. On a daily basis, Georgine shows immense passion and dedication for justice regarding workers and seniors and families and women in New Mexico. Her personal history exhibits her passion for social justice. In 2004, she earned her law degree and practiced with a commitment to be an advocate for underserved communities. Later, she was an adjunct professor at both the University of New Mexico and the University of New Mexico Law School. I'm happy to introduce Georgine Lewis. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure and a great honor to be here today. Once again, my name is Georgine Lewis, and I am honored to serve House District 26 in the New Mexico State Legislature. House District 26, thank you, is located on the west side of Albuquerque, and it's a growing and diverse community, so I'm happy to serve the people there. I'm originally from Acoma Pueblo, and I grew up on the reservation. Acoma Pueblo is located at about 60 miles west of Albuquerque, and you know, if you get the opportunity, please go out there and visit. It's very beautiful. So I just want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to New Mexico. New Mexico is so beautiful. Our state is full of diversity, culture, and tradition. And as you heard, you know, the state is one of the states leading the way in marriage equality. However, we still have a lot of work to do. Especially in Albuquerque, our economy is struggling. It's so bad here. It's affecting our middle class. We have this war on our teachers and our students. And just last November, we had a ballot initiative in Albuquerque that would have banned late-term abortions. So fortunately, the Albuquerque voters went out and we defeated that initiative. And this was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful, but you know, it brings to mind a couple of things. First, the war on women is still alive, and we have to go out there and fight for our rights. Second, when people feel that they have skin in the game, they actually go out and vote. We had a great number of voters in Albuquerque go out to vote against this initiative. So this is really important, and this is one of the reasons why I'm so happy that NOW has selected Albuquerque to have their national conference, because the work that women are doing and advocates for women, our men, are doing on behalf of women is so wonderful. And I just want to thank you for your efforts. Keep fighting the fight. I'm there with you on the State House in New Mexico. And if this is your first time in Albuquerque, please enjoy it. It's wonderful. And please come back and visit. Thank you.